The Mahabharat, Section 2, Part 1. The Rishi said, O son of Suta, we wish to hear a full and circumstantial account of the place mentioned by you as Samanta Panchaka. Suta said, Listen, O ye Brahmanas, to the sacred descriptions I utter. O ye best of men, ye deserve to hear of the place known as Samanta Panchaka. In the interval between the Treta and Dwapar Yugas, Rama, great amongst all who have borne arms, urged by impatience of wrongs, repeatedly smote the noble race of Kshatriyas. And when that fiery meteor by his own valor annihilated the entire tribe of the Kshatriyas, he found at Samanta Panchaka 5 lakhs of blood. We are told that his reason being overpowered by anger, he offered oblations of blood, many of his ancestors, standing in the midst of the sanguine water of those lakes. It was then that his forefathers, of whom Richika was the first, having arrived there, addressed him thus, O Rama, O blessed Rama, O offspring of Brigu, who have been gratified with the reverence thou hast shown for thy ancestors, and with thy valor. O mighty one, blessing me upon thee, O thou illustrious one, ask the boon that thou midst desire. Rama said, If, O fathers, ye are favorably disposed towards me, the boon I asked is that I may be absolved from the sins born of my having annihilated the Kshatriyas in anger, and that the lakes I have formed may become famous in the world as holy shrines. The Pitrus then said, So shall it be, but be thou pacified. And Rama was pacified accordingly. The region that lieth near unto those lakes of glory water, from that time hath been celebrated as Samanta Panchaka, the holy. The wise have declared that every country should be distinguished by a name significant of some circumstances which may have rendered it famous. In the interval between the Dwapara and the Kali Yugs, there happened at Samanta Panchaka the encounter between the armies of the Kaurava and Pandavas in that holy region. Without ruggedness of any kind were assembled 18 Akshohini of soldiers eager for battle. And, O Brahmanas, having come thereto, they were all slain on the spot. Thus the name of that region, O Brahmanas, hath been explained, and the country described to you as a sacred and delightful one. I have mentioned the whole of what relateth to it, as the region is celebrated throughout the 3 worlds. The Rishi said, We have a desire to know, O son of Suta, what is implied by the term Akshohini that hath been used by thee. Tell us in full what is the number of horses and foot, chariot and elephants which compose an Akshohini, for thou art fully informed. Suta said, 1 chariot, 1 elephant, 5 foot soldiers, and 3 horses form 1 pati. 3 patis make 1 Senamukha. 3 Senamukhas are called a Gulma. 3 Gulmas a Gana, 3 Ganas a Vahini. 3 Vahinis together are called a Pritana. 3 Pritanas from a Chamu. 3 Chamus, 1 Anikini, and an Anikini taken 10 times form, as it stated by those who know, and Akshohini. O ye best of Brahmanas! Arithmeticians have calculated that the number of chariots in an Akshohini is 21,827. The measure of elephant must be fixed at the same number. O ye pure, you must know that the number of foot soldiers is 109,350. One number of horse is 65,610. This, O Brahmanas, as fully explained by me, are the numbers of an Akshohini as said by those acquainted with the principles of numbers. O best of Brahmanas, according to these calculations were composed the 18 Akshohini of the Kaurava and Pandava army. Time, whose acts are wonderful, assembled them on that spot, and having made the Kauravas the cause, destroyed them all. Bhishma, acquainted with the choice of weapons, fought for 10 days. Dona protected the Kaurava Vahini for 5 days. Karna, the desolator of hostile armies, fought for 2 days, and Shalya for half a day. After that lasted for half a day, the encounter with clubs between Duryodhana and Bhima. At the close of that day, Aswathama and Kripa destroyed the army of Yudhishthira in the night while sleeping without suspicion of danger. O Sonak, this best of narrations called Bharata, which has begun to be repeated at thy sacrifice, was formerly repeated at the sacrifice of Janmenjaya by an intelligent disciple of Vyasa. It is divided into several sections. In the beginning are Paushya, Paulama, and Astika Parvas, describing in full the valor and renown of kings. It is a work whose description, diction, and senses are varied and wonderful. It is contain an account of various manners and rites. It is accepted by the wise, as the state called Vairagya is by man desirous of a final release, as self among things to be known, as life amongst things that are dear. So is this history that furnished the means of arriving at the knowledge of Brahma, the first among all the Shastras. There is not a story current in this world, but doth depend upon this history, even as body upon the food that it taketh. As masters of good lineage are ever attended upon by servants desirous of preferment, so it is the Bharata cherished by all poets. As the worlds constituting the several branches of knowledge appertaining to world and the Veda display only vowels and consonants, so this excellent history displayeth only the highest wisdom. Listen, O ye aesthetics, to the outlines of the several divisions of this history called Bharata, endued with great wisdom of sections and feet that are wonderful and various, of subtle meaning and logical connections, and embellished with the substance of the Vedas. The 5 Parva is called Anukramanika, the second Sangraha, then Paushya, then Paulama, then Astika, then Adivan Savatran. Then comes the Sambhava of wonderful and thrilling incidents. Then comes Jatugrihadaha, and then Hidimba Vadha Parvas. Then comes Vaka Vadha, and then Chitraratha. The next is called Swayamvar, in which Arjuna, by the exercise of Kshatriya virtues, won Draupadi for wife. Then comes Vaivahik, then comes Viduragaman, Rajya Labha, Arjun, Banavas, and Subhadra Haran. After this come Haran Harika, Khandav Dahan, Maya Darshan. Then come Sabha, Mantra, Jarasandh, Digvijay. After Digvijaya come Rajashuyaka, Ardhya Haran, and Shishupal Vat. After these, Dryuta, Anudhyuta, Aranyaka, and Irmira Vat. Then Arjuna Bhigam, Kairati. In the last hath been described the battle between Arjun and Mahadev in the guise of a hunter. After this, Indralok Vigaman, then that mine of religion and virtue, the highly pathetic Nalopakhyan. After this last Tirthayatra, or the pilgrimage of the vice prince of the Kurus, the death of Jatasura, and the battle of the Yakshas, then the battle with the Nivat Kvach, Ajagra, and Markandeya Samasya, then the meeting of Draupadi and Satyabhama Ghosh Yatra, Mriga Swapna, then the story of Brihadaryan, and then Indra Brahman, then Draupadi Haran, Jaydrath Vimokshan, then the story of Savitri illustrating the great merit of connubial chastity. After this last, the story of Rama, the Parva that comes next is called Kundala Haran. That which comes next is Aranya, and then Virat. Then the entry of the Pandavas and the fulfillment of their promise. Then the destruction of Kichakas. Then the attempt to take the kind. The next is called the marriage of Abhimanyu with the daughter of Virata. Then the next you must know is the most wonderful Parva called Udyoga. The next must be known by the name of Sanjaya Yana. Then comes Prajagar. Then Sanat Sujata, in which are the mysterious of spiritual philosophy. Then Yana Sandhi, and then the arrival of Krishna. The story of Madhali, and then of Galava. Then the story of Savitri, Vamadev, and Venya. Then the story of Jamdagnya and Sodsa Rajika. Then the arrival of Krishna at the court, and then Vidulputra Shashan. Then the muster of troops and the story of Sheta. Then must you know comes the quarrel of the high-shouldered Karna. Then the march to the field of the troops of both sides. The next hath been called numbering the Rathish and Atiraths. Then comes the arrival of messenger Ulluka, which kindled the wrath. The next that come you must know is the story of Amba. Then comes the thrilling story of installation of Bhishma as commander-in-chief. The next is called the creation of the insular region Jambu, then Bhumi, then the account about the formation of islands. Then comes the Bhagavad Gita, and then the death of Bhishma, then the installation of Drona, then the destruction of the Shamsaptakash, then the death of Abhimanyu, and then the vow of Arjun, then the death of Jayadratha, and then of Ghatotkacha. Then must you know comes the story of death of Drona, of surprising interest. The next that comes is called the discharge of the weapon called Narayana. Then you know is Karna, then Salya, then comes the immersion in the leg, and then the encounter with clubs. Then comes Saraswat, and then the descriptions of holy shrines, and then genealogy. Then comes Soptika, describing incidents disgraceful. Then comes the Ashika of harrowing incidents. Then comes Jal Pradhan, oblations of water to the minis of the deceased, and then the wailings of the women. The next must be known as Shraddha, describing the funeral rites performed for the slain Kauravas. Then comes the destruction of the Rakshasa Chakra, who had assumed the disguise of Brahmanan. Then the coronations of wise Yudhishthir. The next is called the Griha Pravibhaga. Then comes Santi, then Rajadharmanushashan, then Apad Dharma, then Moksha Dharma. Those that follow are called respectively Sukha Prashna Abhigaman, Brahma Prashna Nushashan, the origin of Durvasha, the disputations with Maya. The next is to be known as Anushashanika. Then the ascension of Bhishma to heaven. Then the horse sacrifice, which when read purgeth all sins away. The next must be known as the Anugita, in which are words of spiritual philosophy. Those that follow are called Asramavash, Putra Darshan, and the arrival of Narada. The next is called Maushal, which abound with terrible and cruel incidents. Then comes Mahaprasthanika and ascension to heaven. Then comes the Puran, which is called Khilvansha. In this last are contained Vishnu Parva, Vishnu's frolics and fits as a child, the destruction of Kansa,